It jumps up in the air. Chris Burke's still with it. Chris Burke's spinning around. Another shot. That's good. The rebound. And they score!
And he tries to work his way past Ovington. Gets it down into the corner. Santoro is there. Yuzuki sends a blind shot. Goal! Game! Championship! Selects, repeat!
A timeout taken here by the North Jersey Avalanche. The Avalanche coaches will speak to their charges. Down by 2. But as the old saying goes, you just gotta have one to have fun. There's the siren, will get back going. Timeout burnt at 8:49 to go here in period number 3. Bench banging the sticks, getting the boys fired up. Face off bar.
I've said it to probably every team I've had. You want to go somewhere fast, go by yourself. You want to go somewhere far, go with a group.
As many of you know by now, we've made the difficult decision to cancel our national championships and our disabled festival. This was not an easy decision to make. We looked at other possibilities, including postponement, but unfortunately, with the uncertainty regarding the coronavirus right now, and safety is the top priority of USA Hockey, we felt this was the best decision to make.
It was insane, because the guys on our team put so much in, and it's not just the staff, the players. We ask a lot of our players, so the whole season is a grind. They shut down, the rink for a little bit. We were supposed to play the Rockets then too, and we did a team Zoom pre-scout on the Rockets. Literally an hour after we finished, we got the notification that it was done.
Win or lose, I think the closure of a season is so important. But obviously, some of those guys that you coach, that you had relationships with, you wanted to finish it, the right way. Where if you lose, you went out on your terms, and obviously, if you win, it's an amazing, feeling and something that you'll take with you the rest of your life.
Just training with the boys and being with the boys every single day, and just having that end goal, going to nationals and winning the tournament, and just having it taken away from you like that, it's obviously pretty hard to deal with.
just seeing all the 16U team and 18U team that we had formed bonds with, like, had a really good chance of winning. Seeing their season cut short was disappointing for sure.
I remember we found out that it was like a possibility at like 5 or 6 o'clock. And then by that end of the night, it was like definite.
Just the reaction to when they told us that we had to leave the house and that our season was canceled was just, they were all in tears, and like I knew how much it meant to them, and just like I knew how much this year would mean if we came out and won it.
There was no tryouts. It's just everything was uncharted. So we were putting this team together, and I had basically talked to, Mick Thompson and Lukas Klemm and Byceon Lago, who are the three guys that were coming back. I said, I'm in this if you're in this. Like, I want the opportunity. I love you guys dearly. You mean a lot to me, and I want to stay in the fight here. I have a kidney problem where twice before, a respiratory infection has put me in the hospital for long periods of time. So my doctors are telling me, we don't know what this thing is. We know it's a aggressive, respiratory thing. My wife's a nurse in Manhattan. She works at Sloan Kettering. She can't, obviously not go to work. She's a first responder. So the dynamic for me was I had to leave my wife and son at the time. I ended up going to a lake house of a family friend, and wasn't really like an ideal situation. No Wi-Fi, no television. And that time encapsulated the period where you're putting your teams together. I remember talking to Nick Moldenhauer and Mike Moldenhauer, walking about a mile into like the woods to get service, to have a 2-hour conversation about what I thought we could do for Nick. And it was the best thing I ever did.
Picking the team was interesting. Like, we didn't get to go through the process the way we had in the past. We had gotten, several commitments from players on the 16 team the year before that were going to come and play. Other players were looking at other options, and then, you throw COVID into it, it just blows it all up.
We weren't sure, what our billet program would look like. We weren't sure, what the world would look like.
It was very tough at first to pick the team. Once the team was picked, I think the evaluation process was okay, just a little slower than normal.
We've done a training camp where we're, lucky enough to house the whole entire team in one place. And we skate multiple times a day. Every single exit interview, in one way or another, there was a reference to training camp, how they came out of that camp closer than any other team.
Training camp was probably one of the highlights of the year. That was one of the coolest things I've been a part of. And I think that's really where we all started getting to know each other. We all really got like super close during those days.
The first kind of day was a little bit strange, just kind of getting to know everybody. But I mean, it's just a really great group of guys. So, it kind of, kids started gelling right away. And
we thought it was going to make things difficult just because our pod and their pod got really close over that first week. And we thought it was just going to create a divide. But after the first week, we merged into one house, both sides, and then everyone just kind of blended right together.
With the training camp and being together for 2 weeks, I think helped because we got to know each other there. And then, we were always a tight group. So we clicked right from the start without knowing each other.
The 05s all knew each other. So they were close. And then also 4s were good. And we all just bonded together.
I remember going in, I was nervous and I was excited at the same time because, I didn't know how the kids would be. But, from day one, they turned out to be, my best friends.
Guys are from all over. We didn't know, the New Jersey guys, you've heard of some guys. But I think, right from the click, just a bunch of great human beings.
Early August, I started having stomach pains, and towards the middle end of August, I actually went into the hospital and I had a perforated appendix. I actually missed training camp, was able to play the first couple weekends. I got back with them for the first practice. I actually left the hospital without any procedures or anything. And then I actually had surgery towards the end of September. So I definitely missed out. And then hearing about how awesome it was throughout the season and stuff.
Trent Powell's from Alaska, and so he was very shy. So I was one of the returners that kind of had to like show everyone the ropes and all that stuff. So I tried to get him to open up and kind of be with the group and everything.
Came in from Alaska, didn't know anybody, fit right in, low maintenance, low ego, humble kid.
He lived with me for the whole year. He really wasn't a fan of New York. We took him to the city. He said it really wasn't anything special. He liked his home.
There was like half the team living at the house on property, and then the other half was at the penthouse, like in downtown. And the kids that were at the penthouse saw Powell for the first time, and they thought he worked there. So he was just kind of like standing there in like the corner, like not really saying anything. So all like the boys thought he was like one of the workers, and didn't think he was actually on the team, which is pretty funny.
He's a great kid, and I think once he kind of got out of his shell a little bit, everybody loved him.
Once we moved over, like Mick Thompson and Yurchuk really got him going out of his shell, so they got him feeling at home.
Kind of a quiet kid, but I mean, we treated him like everyone else. Like we all treat everyone the same, and we all just kind of included everyone with everything, and we all just, I guess, I don't even know what happened, but we all just bonded really fast, and it was something special.
I think definitely as a team we struggled a little bit, and like we got back to our groove once we were like allowed back in the locker rooms and everything. What goes on in the locker room before and after games, like that's special to the team.
I mean, I'm used to just coming in to the locker room 30 minutes before getting dressed, and then we have these rules where you have to get dressed in the car.
And then we were forced to get dressed outside, and then it gets cold as hell outside.
You know, showing up 15 minutes before, trying to get your legs going, trying to, you know, in December, trying to put your pants on out in the cold. And, you know, we have one of the best locker rooms in Hackensack. We were unable to use it.
Our culture's on the wall, our alumni are on the wall, you know, our lounge, everything that we do, like our, you know, like our food, our fridge, like our stick racks, like tape, like our whole, everything was gone.
Every single day, it seemed like it was something different. Like you'd have a great practice, and then, you know, Vinny would call us and say, hey, you know, so-and-so came down with it. You know, he's got a positive test. You know, we're done for 2 weeks. So it was the unknown.
Play a couple games, and then we would, during the week, we get a test positive, and then we would shut down for 2 weeks.
You kind of held your breath because you were afraid if you took the next breath, you were going to get that text message or that phone call that we were done.
It was really rough. Actually, I was one of the kids that caused one of the shutdowns. I got COVID, and really, it was like I had to quarantine for like 14 days and go right into a game.
It ruins your groove kind of when you're playing games every weekend, and all of a sudden you're shut down for 4 weeks.
Because it's hard to get that game rhythm all the time without playing.
We faced our fair share of adversity, but it was made us, I think, ultimately closer in the end.
I was just really appreciative to be able to play any games at all at that point, so I wasn't really complaining.
I think what made us successful is we stuck to it. We stuck with what we were doing, and we just stayed with it, and I guess it all worked out in the end.
We came out of the gate and won 5 games the first weekend up in Connecticut. We were 5-0, and I'm like, we probably beat 3 top 10 teams, and I don't even think we played well. So there was that stuff came out of training camp, and I'm like, okay, like this is, you know, we're a horse.
Doing a cancer game where we're raising money for research. That was something that we did every year. And with COVID and all the uncertainty, you know, the state getting shut down, we weren't able to do it. So it was something that, you know, Vinny and Noel Rubin, the coach of the Rockets, myself and Jamie and Mark, you know, talked about, let's put something together.
It was huge for us because, I mean, if you watch that series, it was awesome. I mean, it was overtime games, it was comebacks, it was shootouts, it was back and forth, it was, you know, old school. We were going to each other's rinks.
We've been rivals for a very long time. We were rivals last year. They're always very good games.
Have a team of that caliber right next door to us when everything shut down and no one else is playing games, it was massive for us.
You know, they're a good team. They got a lot of good players on that team, and every single game went to overtime, like, which is impossible to do.
I don't even want to say like start, but I guess a good start to the season. It was in November, but I think that kind of set the tone for us, that series.
The first game of the season against them, we just smacked them. I think it was like 6-1 or something. And then just the cancer series, it definitely added some tension between us.
It's a time for everything.
Right across the creases, put in by number 9 of the Avalanche.
Life is but an image of your thoughts. You lose, then you win, that's lost. You pay the cost, and that's the price to be the boss. To be great, you gotta stand up when you fall. It's a time for war. I'm back for more, I'm ready. It's a time for war. I'm back for more, I'm ready. Victory is mine. Yeah.
Game 3 of the Avalanche Rockets.
They play a really disciplined style. They play hard, so you know what you're going to get every game against them.
They knew our power play, we knew theirs, breakouts, all this kind of stuff. So it really, just had to grit it out, and it was, I mean, I think it made it more fun though to play.
We're in the locker room, like finally getting ready for the game, and we're playing Let It Go from Frozen. And Jamie, of course, is just sitting there. And once it goes to like Let It Go, he just gets up and
Not even being on the team before the year before, I could just, you know, sense the rivalry. It was a lot more physical.
Kuznetsov is hammered into the boards by Powell.
You know, chirps and stuff like that. It was just more competitive.
Oh, what a shot and play. Mick Moldenhauer. Berger's got a half a step. Berger takes it away. Berger with a beautiful move, puts it between the pads of Schunke.
The amount of games we played against them, it started to get a little ugly at the end, so we didn't like each other.
They got feisty at times, but I mean, for the most part, it was more fun to be a part of just because it was good hockey.
Rockets number 17 takes a shot, saved. And it's knocked into the net. Mick Thompson. Oh, right in front. Manfre put that one home, and just like that, the game is tied. Moldenhauer now. Moldenhauer circles. Quick shot, he scores! What a shot! Just like that, Moldenhauer.
Boy, I'm busy. I'm on the grind at all times. Yeah, the champ get busy. I'm bad. You want a war? Can you catch a bomb? I'll send a hit with no words, like I'm a dime. I'm ready for it.
Thompson right in front, 63, Lewis.
Pulling up beside you, I got you.
Over to 19, back to 21, and it's in the back of the net. That's Yurchuk back and forth with Manfre. Takes a shot, but it's saved. Takes a shot, beats him low, right between the pad. Left pad saved by MacArthur. Moldenhauer comes with a little bit more speed. He hits the upper corner, and it's over.
I think that was good for us to kind of get an experience in like every close game. Like, because we knew late in the year at Nationals, we'd be in an overtime game, we'd be in a really close game, we had to get through it.
We want to play teams like that. Like, we wish teams in the district, there was, you know, more teams like the Rockets.
Hey, easy, thank God.
I loved having the kind of target on our back where everyone was, we were getting everyone's best every time we played them.
The third game of the season, we lost in a shootout, and like the other team just like going to yard sale like after they won. Like we always had the targets on our backs. We knew that since day one.
You know, we've always taken an approach of this is our district. I want you to make sure that this district remains ours.
Definitely big target on our back, and I think that's what we liked about it though. I think we like getting targeted on. I think we liked it honestly as a group.
When you're the number one team and you're playing and another team sees you on their schedule, you're obviously going to get their best every time, but that's what we look for. That's what we all signed up for. That's the challenge that we all wanted to embrace.
I feel like teams got up to play us, and just being the number one team, it just everyone wants to beat you.
A team that's, you know, that shouldn't compete with you, they're going to give it all they got, and you're going to have to fight for everything. There's no easy games, no matter who you play.
Everyone wants to make a statement by beating you and trying to not knock you off the throne, but we kind of had a little swagger to us, knowing that we were number one in the country.
This the life you get to see when your eyelids still shut. But for me, this is the real one. This grind, homie, I'm on an ironic. These sonic waves and stipend pay make my life quicken. These kids jealous, seeing green like night vision. And if these politicians try to listen to these college kids, maybe the plot we're thinking we should reinvent ideas. Where your mind is in your pocket, isn't on the premise of missions instead of competition. You gon' bump that, pump pass, kick raps, have fans, fist bumping, crowds fist pumping while you pump gas. And yo, Sven, bring the drums back. And I don't mean I jog in circles when I tell you that I run track. And lately, I've been so hungry that I taste these dreams that I conceive, and I can see that they seem crazy. Blind turns on this road, it's windy and it's wavy, but the way my mama raised me gave me vision like Scorsese. I'm a break ground on this breakdown, treat it like construction, build it simple at the base and redefine my budget. If you see the sky, then touch it. I dare you to. Hoping this beat will be your parachute. Your parachute said I'm a break ground on this breakdown, treat it like construction, build it simple at the base and redefine my budget. If you see the sky, then touch it. I dare you to. Cause all you need's a little push when you're scared to move.
All this pressure on my chest makes me scared to move ahead, and I can't breathe the same way that I used to.
Majority of the teams we played would kind of change or alter something because they had to play us. As the year went on, we were more comfortable being that top dog and just playing our game.
And Now it seems that I've forgotten how to breathe. My lungs are wrapped around my knees, my heart is pumping out my sleeve. Never was asthmatic, that is wheezing, sounds like static. But this mic, this Steve is tracking's like my breathing apparatus. These notes staccato from violins and violas. These kids bravados from keyboards and controllers. I came from nada to getting down from promoters. All for rocking shows and getting crowds to roar like motors. Yeah, now let these strings hit ya. Feel the vibrations and the vibe you bring with ya. Sad life, what if positive's the new black? My bank account already knew that. Whoa, got 'em, no problem. If self-esteem is short, then we resort to cheap retorts. You seem unsure about your choices, but it'll all work out. No muscle, catch my drift like Japanese imports. I'm the state now, and this shakedown called our government. All you gotta do is show we know where corruption is. Get out the rut you're in, I dare you to. Cause all you need's a little boost when you're scared to move.
All this pressure on my chest makes me scared.
Every team we played, you know, it was like Super Bowl for them or Stanley Cup. Some teams can just take a game off and still win, but we never had the ability to do that.
You want to be like the Yankees of baseball, or you want to be like the Patriots of football, or the Canadians of hockey, where, you know, you're just a dominant factor in the game and people are going to come after you all the time. And I kind of like it that way. I'd rather be the guy they're coming for than be the guy I got to go get.
That was a good thing for us. Like, there was learning lessons where we would lose a game because that team's desire beat our desire.
There was a great interview with Nick Saban's wife a couple of years ago, where she said, when the absolute expectation at the end of the year is national championship or bust, it becomes really hard and really, really trying.
It's pretty iconic, the Buchanan dance, when he just does his dance after every win.
So we went to Michigan and we were playing, 3 top 15 teams. On the way there, it sucked. But on the way back, the happiest guys in the world. We were playing our best hockey, and Nick Moldenhauer, I go, yo, put on, that song. Like, I didn't even know the song at the time, but it was We Know Speak Americano.
Bucky just started dancing to it, and he started doing this dance, and it kind of just stuck.
But I don't know, when he first started doing that, I was just dying because I know he's just such a character. And
yeah, he just pulls out this dance, and then it kind of just escalated from there. We started winning big games. We get in the locker room, put on the song, and Buchanan, get up there, go do your dance.
That was just such a fun time in the locker room, just because we all went nuts. That was awesome. Like, every single time, like when he did it when we won.
Bucky gets in the middle and he starts doing his dance, and everyone starts clapping, and it definitely gets the boys going. And
it's a great dance. Unbelievable.
Someone showed Vinny, and he's like, you gotta do that after we win.
And I saw it, and I was like, this is unbelievable. I was like, the rest of the way out, we win a championship or we win a big game, like, this has got to be our go-to.
He might be a one-trick pony because it was the same dance every time, but nothing better, and you better put it in the video.
every year I would tell the group before districts, like, why I love them, why I fell in love with them as a person. Like, love's a big thing with my culture in terms of what I believe you need to be successful. We flipped the script. They told each other, they told us, and it was the best thing we ever did. Like, we had a meeting that was probably, I wish I would have videotaped it because it was so moving, and it was such a, an experience to be in that room, right? To just feel the authenticness of how much they cared about each other, like emotional, crying, like hard on the sleeve, guys that you never thought would even like open up to that level. Like, wow.
From the start of the year, you knew it was special, but like when you could really just be vulnerable around everybody and like, tears were shed and stuff, like, like these guys have your back no matter what.
We hadn't seen them since then, so coming into districts, we knew it was going to be like a good series.
They're super competitive with us.
It doesn't get much better as far as competition in the Rockets.
Our districts games were very good games. Could have won either way.
Our guys, when it came down to, them standing between us and our path to nationals, understood that they were going to have to give their best effort to get through that.
I feel like district hockey for me while I was an AV was very, very intense.
Oh, honestly, it's super exciting. I mean, we didn't really get the chance last year, so it feels good to have the feeling that we know we're going to compete for a championship. So it's exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was a really fun weekend. We bonded a lot, and so we were able to like be together more. Even like going out to eat like later that day and bonding more with the team was amazing.
We were kind of the favorites to win districts from the start of the season, so we were just looking at the bigger picture and just looking for the main goal of nationals.
I kind of said in December, like, this team's going to win a nationals. They had, quality goaltending. Their D-core was deep. Their forwards were unbelievable. Like, they were built to win.
In between districts and nationals is a bigger gap this year because of COVID. We usually do a pretty big preparation for nationals where we scrimmage like Division I teams and alumni guys, and we had to do that off location. So we skated at South Mountain. The rink was like 100 degrees. It was our first skate. We did a skate with a cut. We went really hard, and we had two guys go at it.
We were doing this one net front drill, and one of our defensemen shot a puck and like hit the one kid pretty high. Like, it was definitely going over the net. They went at it, and I think that like kind of just the whole energy of that practice like was just rattled up. Like, everyone was rattled.
Some of those kids live together, so I could see why they're going at it. I mean, they're with each other every day, all the time, so we knew it's nothing much. Just two kids competing at practice.
Yeah, it was almost like a family fighting, like brothers fighting. I don't think it was anything too serious though.
We were competitive the whole year. Like, we get into so many fights in practice. When it came to practice, we just wanted to get better.
I actually think, maybe I'm a little crazy. The fight that I broke up in practice was a good thing for the team.
Guys should like rough each other up in practice and then have a word about it after, but then you see them right after hugging.
It's natural. I loved seeing it. It's something I've never seen a team like go after it like that or compete so hard in practice. Like, every single drill was like Game 7 of the NHL Stanley Cup final.
I think that we had like a pretty poor practice. Like, we weren't like connecting on passes and everything. And I just thought I'd like started to get a little nervous from there.
I mean, I think we were always getting a little antsy, getting ready for nationals and just getting excited and stuff. And we just wanted to get down there and light it up down there. So I think players in practice were getting a little antsy. And yeah, I don't think it's anything deeper than the sport of hockey.
We played an alumni team of all Division I athletes, and we won the Saturday before we left. And I think that hurt us a little bit because we were a little bit inflated there because we beat 15 Division I kids.
We got to nationals and we didn't have the great of practice either. I don't know if it was plain legs, if we were just not comfortable and not settled, but we didn't have a great practice.
We practiced good, but we just didn't look like ourselves really.
Maybe it was a little bit of, hey, we're number one and let's just, roll our helmets out and win the national championship here.
Coming in there as the favorite, it's like you have to win pretty much.
The depth of talent from the 16 teams that were there was probably something that we will never see again.
That was like the true indication where I said to Jamie, like, we are the best team in the country by far. It's our job to win this thing.
we took it a little light, and they came out and they beat us. They played well.
We were definitely not the happiest. There was not really a word said in the locker room.
I think it gave us a wake-up call.
Everyone knew if we lost the game, we were out after that.
It was basically our motto all year, and that our backs were against the wall and we just had to win out.
Our coaches made it seem like they weren't worried, but I knew they were kind of nervous.
You know, I was really emotional, and you know, losing that game, it's a lot of soul searching. They were opportunistic, and we were gripping it tight, and we played like we were scared in certain moments, and we played like there was a big layoff. It really was the perfect opportunity for this group. It was a heaven sent, you know, and I said it. I thought when we lost that game, we were going to win a national championship.
They didn't have a ton of guys who had experience at nationals, so now they got their one game under their belt.
When they walked in the room for the video session, you would have thought we were at a funeral. They quickly rebounded and, you know, quickly spent a lot of time talking with each other about, you know, what needs to be done.
We all kind of just like looked at each other, and we all took a look in the mirror later that night and like, all right, we got to play our absolute best the rest of this.
We all knew that we had one goal that we came here to do, and we wanted to get it done.
You kind of push everything aside and you're like, all right, now it's do or die. I love the guys next to me. I want to play as many games as possible with them. Like, I don't want to be done.
I think the love everyone had for each other really served as motivation, because everyone would do anything just to spend another day with the boys and keep playing.
The next day, they popped right back, and I think they just took it to another level after that.
Usually it's nice and loose in the locker room, like we're a loose team because we're all close and stuff like that, but no one was saying a word in the locker room. It was like, even me, like I was just looking at all of us. I was scared less. So
I had parents from one of the other teams talking about our team. When we went in for the pregame, I went off. I thought that kind of fired the guys up before that game.
And I said to him, if we focus on the outcome of this game, our season's over. If we focus on the process, we'll run these guys out of the rink.
Toss them over to the floor.
As soon as we got the first goal to go up 1-0, it was like, all right, we're back.
I mean, a hat trick on under 10 minutes, that's unheard of.
Our 18 coach, Mark Lotito, actually said they woke a sleeping giant.
It was just one of the most perfectly timed things that I've ever heard from a coach, but we just awoken. We awoken a sleeping giant.
And it just kind of lets everyone know, like, we're here, like we're at national, we're ready to go. So I think that was kind of a big statement game for us, that we're ready to go from this point on, and we're not going to take anybody lightly, and we're here to win.
The beast is ugly, I feel the rage
Good afternoon from the Centene Community Ice Center in Maryland Heights, Missouri. Today's matchup features the top-ranked North Jersey Avalanche versus the upstart Sioux Falls Power. And Buchanan's line is going to start out. Arcaroli is out there, number 17 as well as Nathan Lewis. We're just underway in this quarterfinal action. Right in front, Arcaroli, breadbasket shot, scores! He buries it as he finds and he solves Manzel's. Antonio Arcaroli, as the shot by Nicholas Moldenhauer is steered and trying to bang it up, and there's Moldenhauer with the goal as he picks up the rebound off of Thompson's wraparound attempt. Puck comes back up high. Here's the drive, shot, goal! Rowan scores and Sioux Falls is back in a turnover. Here's a bounce play, shot, backhand goal, scored as number 27, Quentin Musty sends it back over to the far side, looking for the return feed right in front, shot, goal, scored by number 17, Borozinski. Borozinski puts it right in front, back pass, shot, goal, scored! And Sioux Falls has tied things up, keeps it alive, puck fed back over, far side, shot, goal! Moldenhauer gets his second of the game. And the puck comes all the way back. Out comes Thompson's shot, and it's a drive. And a wraparound shot, goal! Thompson ties it! As Lago takes some ice, back on the backside, backdoor, and a backhander. And Musty gets the Avalanche back up top. Moldenhauer is there, right in front. Shot, goal! Score! Brady Arneson ties things up. And they'll overload on that far right-hand side. Moldenhauer open, here's the shot, goal! Moldenhauer with a hat trick, makes it 6-5. There it is, and the final whistle as the horn sounds, and North Jersey Avalanche are going to the semifinals and most likely will play Buffalo Saints.
I thought it was a great game to plan. Super fun. When the game gets close at the end there, it gets a little intense. So, I mean, just sticking to it, staying positive on the bench is, I think, one of the most important things for us.
We didn't take them lightly at all. Obviously, it was a tough game. We won 6-5. It was an incredible game, but
We were in elimination the whole tournament. I feel like the teams that weren't struggled, and we just kept rolling since game 2.
Defensively, not the way we wanted to go into the semifinal round, but I think we knew that was kind of a fluke.
The game was a pretty big back and forth. Sioux Falls was a big, heavy team, but they also had a lot of skill in their roster. So they played kind of similar to us in that they like to control the puck and make plays. We knew we had to make more plays than them and kind of just play our style, and the rest would take care of itself.
Vinny had never made it past the quarterfinals as a head coach before that. So, I mean, really deep down I was playing for him.
Everything that could go wrong puck-wise and just situationally went wrong. And I just thought it was one of those games where we found a way to win a hockey game.
Biggest thing that came out of that game was motivation for Matty Mack, our goalie. You know, Matt's good enough to steal a game, and we got to sit down with him and say, hey, we stole one for you here. Like, we need you the rest of the way. And obviously, he was outright phenomenal the rest of the tournament.
No Avs team has won this before. No one's brought it home before, and we wanted to do it for all the alumni, all the coaches, and everyone else who's put on that jersey.
A very good morning to you here on a Sunday morning in Maryland Heights, Missouri. 4 teams enter, 2 teams leave to play tomorrow.
I mean, you got to realize, like, the storybook side of all this stuff, the David Ardoin, who is, you know, what Avs family is all about, is on the other bench coaching Bishop Carney. So you can imagine, you know, the emotional side of that.
We had back and forth games all year, and it was just one of those big games. It was you win or you lose and you're out.
As we are underway, both teams banging the sticks. Backdoor cut, shot on save made, the rebound denied as well by MacArthur. Kearney comes up with it. Peluso straight away, shot on, save made. MacArthur will hold on. As the shot from Mania blocked up high and wide, held in at the blue line there by Manfre. Shot on, glove save made by Wynn. And now 3 gold jerseys in, a lone shot on, save made there by Wynn. Taken away from him by Manfre. Manfre in the clear, shot on, save made, rebound spilled. Peluso, short time, shot on, glove save and held. Excuse me, that'll be Stern. Oh, they score! Peluso with a laser beam from center point.
Everyone knew we were definitely capable to win the game. So just kind of having that confidence and kind of staying calm and not freaking out or turning on each other or anything like that.
Here comes Musty. Shot on and snaffled by Wynn. Had it and lost it. Shot on there, save made. Split the defense. Oh, lovely pass through. In front, Moldenhauer, save made. Rebound again denied.
Their goaltender, in my opinion, was the toughest kid to play all year.
He was obviously a stud. Like he was probably the best goalie in the country.
Stern shot, save made. That was from Humphreys. Intercepted. Space in front. Oh, and missing high and wide there. Makes it 1-0 in favor of Bishop Kearney. We'll take a break. 17 minutes left and a whole lot left to play for. Tension at an absolute fever pitch here. And we are underway to English. English turns, fires, save made. It's loose there. They score! J.C. Humphreys, Johnny on the spot. And Bishop Kearney doubles the advantage. The Avalanche now needing really to get on the horse.
I was out there for their second goal, and probably shouldn't say this, but I started to tear up a little bit because I thought our season was just done because their goalie was just keeping them in the game completely.
There in front, Mania gets it back, turns, fires, tipped, and gloved and held by Wynn.
So I got to tell you, I had some nerves.
I know for sure there's a few tears.
Down 2-0 with 8 to go is not where you want to be in the national semifinals.
A timeout taken here by the North Jersey Avalanche.
We were just talking about what we built and just live it in the moment, just to stay calm and just fight it out for your, teammates and brothers.
I just couldn't really picture us losing, if I'm being honest.
The Avalanche coaches will speak to their charges.
But in the timeout, the message was simple. It was like process versus outcome.
Vinny kept us up, Jamie kept us up, and so did Mark Lotito and Pete. And they said, just don't quit. The Avs, they've been in this situation down 2-0 with like a minute left, and they've tied it up before.
It's not ending like this. We're not going out like this.
There's the siren. Will get back going. Timeout burnt at 8:49 to go. Here in period number 3. Bench banging the sticks, getting the boys fired up. Face off far side, deep inside. Kearney turns.
I felt like we were in a place where we were gonna kick the door down.
I can get coverage and try and tell you what's going on. And there's a goal! There's a goal! Quentin Musty on a break. A good shot beats Wynn with 6:11 to go. We got us a hockey game.
Mick just passed me the puck at our own blue line, and I just started to skate wide. And I saw the kid had a little too close of a gap to me, so I just took him wide. And then when he turned, he went to poke check me, but I think I slipped it through. My dad was in the corner where we were celebrating everything, and I don't know, I think he just gave me a look that was like, "You're fine."
After we scored that first one, we knew the second one was coming.
Manfre, low shot, stopped by Wynn. Oh, loose puck in front. Wynn makes an initial save. Big battle for it. It's still loose. Wynn down. Save made. He kept it out, and now Kearney can clear. Played in front. Comes back to Klemm. Shot on save made. Rebound. No goal. Oh, my. That almost went in, and it would have been 2 for Musty.
The wide open net, and I hit the post, and I thought, I was like, I blew it. And I mean, if that's how it ended, I would have been, put it all on myself probably.
As New Jersey really putting Kearney under the pump. Musty, backhander, scores! Quentin Musty has tied us up with 2:32 to go.
If you look at that second goal to tie it, we come in on entry, and a lot of the things that we believe in our offensive tactics from like day one of training camp is in that goal, and that's why I love this team.
And Musty buries the second one, and I remember I jumped onto him because I was on the ice at the time, and Mania comes in, he like jumps over me, and he's like heads above me, and it was just like the energy on the ice and on the bench was crazy.
It definitely got the blood pumping a little bit, and as soon as he scored that second goal, I knew we weren't going home.
Just from there, I knew we were going to win. Just we had all the momentum going into overtime, and I knew it was just bound to happen.
It appears that we will play overtime. 17 minutes up. Winner gets Colorado. Loser gets a plane ride. Hinges, throws back deep, almost intercepted. Otwell down low. Save made there by MacArthur.
We knew Mac was not letting up another goal.
Kearney can't really get anything going here thus far.
I got the puck on the wall. I was kind of flat-footed. Then I saw Moldenhauer just flying, and I saw Mick. He was in front of Moldenhauer, so I just threw it over there. And I didn't even skate after that. I just watched.
I saw Mick get the puck, and I'm like, okay, this defenseman's a little flat-footed. So I was like, I'm going to try and beat him and see if Mick can give it to me.
And I stopped up, and I tried to stop the defenseman in, and I saw Moldy obviously blaring down the wall with speed, and I knew no one was going to catch him, so I kind of just put it in an area for him, and I kind of just let him do his thing.
Thompson in over the blue line. They're onside, and in the clear. Scott! Moldenhauer! Nick Moldenhauer! The North Jersey Avalanche are going to the final!
Like you saw, you just were watching, you had a feeling it was going in. Like we had an odd man rush, like I had a pretty good feeling it was going in.
With the puck on Moldy's stick, it's always in the back of the net. So I was pretty much off the bench by the time Moldy got the puck there.
And I don't even remember watching the puck go in. I just remember everyone screaming and then having the big huddle at the end, which was awesome.
After that, it was just a blur. Just jumping off the bench. First person I skated to was Mac. Had to find him. We played an unreal game to keep it that close, and then just that dog pile is what we live for.
It was a great ending. That was a moment I'll never forget. Hopping off the bench and being the first guy to jump on Moldenhauer on the glass.
I remember telling him, like, I don't know how the hell you did that. I'm like shaking out there on the ice, and this kid's like dangling, putting a top shelf.
All the emotions you could imagine, like, oh my God, we just did this. Now we just got to finish the job because this won't mean anything unless we don't win tomorrow.
I was so overcome with emotion when it went in that like I just couldn't control myself. I started hysterically crying on the bench. You know, I'm looking at the guys. I'm like, guys, I don't know what's wrong with me.
You know, Musty and Moldenhauer get the most publicity on the team, but that was a true team effort. You know, kids like Byceon Lago, like Lukas Klemm. You know, our role guys, quote unquote. You know, the Arcarolis, the Buchanans, like those kids. Those were the guys that won the games.
Nathan Lewis was so instrumental in that BK game. You know, got us over the hump in so many shifts and defensive situations. You know, created offense. All those groups before, like we were at the doorstep. We were right there. The door was open, and then it got slammed in our faces, and it was like our season's over. This group kicked the door down. That BK game was a statement of no, we're not losing.
10 minutes after that, we beat BK. We were like, all right, we got to focus on them now.
Literally right after the game, we all talked about like how we have to stay level-headed, and this isn't the end. Like we got another game to win.
The night before, I remember we all sat down and had a meeting, and we just talked about the Avs family. We talked about what it meant to wear that jersey.
We did video, we did a pre-scout, like we did before every game. You just look around the room, it's like, wow, I just want to win with these guys.
The night before, I was kind of like, oh my God, like we can win a national championship right now.
I remember going to bed that night thinking, man, tomorrow's going to be the best day of your life.
But every single morning for breakfast, we went to the same Denny's, got the same exact thing. I mean, it was just unreal how focused and dialed we were. And
championship game, you can't take him too lightly or overlook him at all. You know, job's not done.
There was, so much that came out of that gave me the impression that they were going to overlook it.
And good morning, and welcome to USA Hockey's Championship Day. This is the Chipotle USA Hockey U16 National Championship game. We're set to go in this championship game. We're underway. Koski strides down the left-hand side, takes the shot, gut save, held on by MacArthur. To the ice, icing is waved off, and Slavin battling back down behind Hansen's cage. 3 Thunderbirds. Puck comes up high, and Hansen has to make the save. Musty's drive, shot right on the doorstep, and it just drips through a wall. Moldenhauer peels it off. Moldenhauer makes a move, backhander just over Hansen's cage. The buzzer sounds. After 1, we remain tied 0-0. We're set for the beginning of this second period. 17 minutes up on the clock. Plays for the Carolina as well, so you've got a couple of Hurricanes players, and they've got rooting on opposite side. Shot, goal! Here it is, and T-Birds get the first goal, and it is number 9, Jack O'Rourke, and O'Rourke picks it up on the near side for his 4th goal of the tournament.
Obviously, when they scored first, it was kind of a tough, like getting caught off guard like that.
Their first goal was kind of a point shot, and then they just tapped in the rebound.
I mean, even when we were down, I was like, hey, whatever, like it's 1.
Avs look to set it up. Musty on the side, sends it back over to the far side. There's Moldenhauer, shot, goal, tie game. Moldenhauer gets a power play goal, and he gets his 2nd goal.
You know, and we were saying it on the bench, you know, me and Vinny both, like, just keep skating, they're going to pull you down, you know, and obviously, you know, we get a power play late in the period.
Chasing it back down again is Lago, and Lago goes down, so Grolnick takes a penalty here late in the second period. Moldenhauer over on that familiar left dot. Puck comes back up high with 6 seconds remaining in the period. Klemm looks for it. Musty's got it. Musty takes the shot. Goal! With 1 second remaining in the period, Musty picks the corner, and the Avalanche will go to intermission with a 1-goal lead.
That was a huge moment for us. That was massive.
Byceon Lago had the puck on the far left wall, and I looked up, and there was only 5 seconds left. Vinny was just like yelling, like, what are you doing? He gave it to Klemm, and now there's like 3 seconds left. And then Lukas Klemm moved it over to Musty, and then there's like 2.
I looked up and I saw there was 3 seconds. I mean, I know he looked at the net and he went to shoot, but I was yelling for it, and I was like, I knew we had enough time
to get a goal with 1/10 of a second left on an absolute rocket by Q.
Q's goal, you know, he puts it in a window that's, you know, very, very small.
They gave us so much confidence and momentum going into the third.
And the T-Birds are going to get their first power play of the game. Zukoski tried to gather it in, and Kahn has to get back he's got Buchanan.
The best thing that happened, as soon as he got through there, Vinny looked down at me at the bench and goes, if all is right in the world, he buries right now, because nobody deserves it more than this kid.
Please put this in, Bucky.
Have Bucky please score on this.
Buchanan's got a break. Buchanan shot, goal! Buchanan with the shorty, and Buchanan gives the Avs a 3-1 lead.
Bucky, man.
Luke Buchanan.
Lucas Buchanan.
Oh my God, I started freaking out on the bench, and so did everyone else.
Of course, it was him, Lucas. I've never seen that kid play a bad game in my life.
I think Bucky's one of the greatest teammates I've ever played with.
Bucky's one of the hardest working kids I ever met.
To see him get rewarded like that for all the hard work.
Best kid in the history of the world, goes out and makes the play of his life, and it was the way the world was supposed to go.
I remember saying, like, oh my God, we're going to win a national championship on the bench, and there's like 9 minutes left, and my captain's like, no, don't say that, don't jinx it.
As well as Hadrick is out there as well. Lago passes it across ice. Feet shot, goal! Musty's got his second power play goal of the game.
Jake Manfre's intensity off the draw wins a puck battle, utilizes his skating away from the puck to get to a puck, chips around the guy, gets it back, uses his skill, pulls up, shoots, gets a rebound, a second rebound, a third chance, puts it through the back of the net. And I thought that goal was like this cement of like, I'm kicking this door down.
And Manfre manufactured that goal as he took the shot and he just kept following up on it. And the T-Birds try and dump it back in with 25 seconds remaining.
And there was a whistle. Matt MacArthur skated over to the bench and told Jake Schunke to get in the net.
You know, for how perfect you've been this whole year, like, you know, take this, like, get the dog pile.
Told him no way, man. Like, he earned that one, and he deserved that moment. He really did.
And here we go, the last 15 seconds remaining in the contest. Puck goes over to Klemm. Klemm holds it there, and he hoists it out to center as the Avalanche get ready to celebrate. 5 seconds, touched up by Scott, and that's going to do it. The North Jersey U16 Avalanche are the Chipotle USA Hockey U16 National Champions.
When the buzzer went, celebrating with the boys, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
It was just pure chills for me and, you know, overwhelming happiness.
Usually when you lose, you're crying, but like once we won, like we were all bawling our eyes out. We just couldn't believe it, honestly.
It was kind of just relief. Like, we finally did it. We were all going crazy. And I think it was the right group.
It was an unreal feeling. I remember I was the first one to MacArthur, and like, he's in goalie pads, and I've never seen him jump that high.
The embrace was just was something special, and the rest of it, to be honest, is just a whirlwind. I always say you can't write this. Those moments is something that you can't write.
Just throwing the gloves up, just getting so hype, and there was really no better way to go out with a group that I'll never forget, and my best friends forever.
Crying, and it's true testament to, you know, how much we care about each other.
This group deserved it. We put in a lot of work, and everyone wanted this, so it was definitely a good thing for us.
That was my last time playing with those guys, wearing that jersey, and that moment just meant everything to me.
I've paid my dues time after time. I've served my sentence, but committed no crime, and made mistakes. I've made a few. I've had my shares and kicked in my face, but I've come through. We are the champions, my friend, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. We got no time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world. But it's been no bed of roses and no pleasure cruise. And I consider the challenge before the whole in the race that I ain't gonna lose. We are the champions, my friend. We'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are
Right after we won against Colorado, everyone was like, "Oh, I can't wait for the Bucky dance."
To see him, I think at the end, he drew a door and kicked it down, and that was one of the coolest moments. Like we did it, and we all just went nuts.
Si tu la parla miezza americano, quando si fa l'amore sotto la luna, come te viene in capo di I love you.
The dance is unbelievable, the atmosphere is great, but he's knocking on the door just like the past Avalanche teams, and like he's at the door and he's at the precipice of, the threshold of the door. And then when the beat breaks, he just kicks the door down. And that was so indicative of what we did. We kicked the door down and we got over the hump.
Shot on scores! Deckett, the future St. Lawrence skating saint. Top shelf, short side. It's a 2-goal advantage for Roko.
The 18s were in the final, and we found out they were down 3-1. We didn't even get to enjoy our celebration. And they said, let's get our medals and go over there right now.
We enjoyed it for about 36 seconds, and everybody at the same time was like, 18s are in a dogfight. Let's go root them on.
As you can see, the Avs, the 16U team, wearing their lovely champion hats, making their way down to the far end to watch their teammate, their clubmates. Seeing can they come back is the question. We've reached just about the halfway point as the North Jersey players now all congregating behind the goal, the east goal, the one that the Avs are attacking. Up ahead, this is Levy in over the blue line. Levy waits, turns, fires, they throw it in front and it's in! It banked home! Connor Sedlak takes the credit, and somehow that went through the legs of Levicki. And with 8:52 to go in the third, it's a 1-goal hockey game once again. A final huddle here for the Avs, their 16U team who defeated the Colorado Thunderbirds 5-1, standing behind the goal of Sam Levicki. To my right, same six out there for the Avs as they bang the boards to get him excited and get him hyped up. Didn't reach goal. Briel gets it again. Near side looking for a tip. It goes just wide. 30 seconds now. It pops out loose. In the clear, Broad. Empty netter!
This year was even harder because I wanted to win it for my dad. With all the things, my dad did for me, I just wanted to try and win it for him. and to get to that point, and I know the players were very emotionally attached to that. They knew that I would, I really wanted that from my dad, and they were playing their hearts out, and that's one thing that I said to them all is I thank you very much for all the emotional support and all the energy that you put into it. I thought that was I thought that was a big part of us coming together too, and that was something that I really appreciated them doing. So this year was probably harder than any year.
Boom, they got their medals, and then it was right over, to our group or to our sheet and cheer us on. And I just think that spoke to the way Jamie and Vinny instilled what it is to be a good person.
We're devastated when they lost. It kind of took a lot out of us, took a lot of joy out of us, even after winning the national championship.
We obviously know all those guys, and we wanted nothing more than to have 2 championships.
We really wanted it because they're such a good group of guys. They're hardworking. They just care about each other and they care about us. So we really wanted it for them.
Vinny and Mark go back a long time, and their teams, we don't look at it as you have 20 teammates. We look at it as you have 40.
The Avs is always, a word we always use is Avs fam. And, we're always there for the other teams.
And for the Avs, this midget program it's one big family. So
it was way too emotional for me. I went back, hung out with the parents, and then I said to Jamie, I said, listen, I gotta go. I don't want to relive this. I want to rip the Band-Aid off, and I want to get on the road.
I was like, I'm gonna walk out with you.
And I just wanted to have my 2 minutes with my boy and be like, thank you, I love you.
And as I'm walking out, I'm looking behind me, right, and I'm just seeing bodies.
He's like, you got to turn around. And I turned around, and the whole hockey team was about 10 feet from my car, arm in arm in the parking lot, sobbing, and it was pretty surreal.
He goes, did you do this? And I said, I don't know what they're doing. They did this on their own. It says Vinny pulled out, lined up, and did a round clap, and almost followed him out into traffic, to be honest. So, but just unprompted, followed and gave him this big round of applause, on his pull out. It was just amazing.
Everything Vinny's done for us, I think it was just a big thank you. It was our way of saying thank you to him for everything he's done.
I needed that closure, that was the end for me. And, to know that I meant something to those guys, obviously we went through it together, but to know that I meant something to them and to have them come out there was huge, for me.
It was an awesome group. I've never been with a team who cares about each other so much and literally would do anything for one another. That kind of made everything in that whole moment so special.
Because you can have really high-end kids, very, very good kids, but if you don't have that culture, that glue, that family mentality, I don't think you get far if it works.
I don't know how many people have won districts, AYs, nationals, and a state tournament, all in 1 year. I have 2 different sets of brothers now. I know I have these brothers for life, whether they're Trent in Alaska, Musty in Buffalo, Mick and Moldy in Canada, or just anyone in New Jersey. I know if I reach out to them, they're going to be there for me.
It was just special. I can't even put it into words how much I love all 20 of those guys.
Deeper than just the game we played in our hockey in general. I think it goes deeper than that. I think it runs in the family.
These guys are really all, well-adjusted young men that are, take a hockey stick and their skates away from them. They're all going to do fine in life because of the human beings that they are.
It's emotional because it's real, and that's the difference. When something's real, you feel it, you're a part of it, it's different.
Some of these guys have become friends. They're friends for life now. They'll have that the rest of their life.
you know, the one thing that kind of came to my mind right after was just that we'll always have this. You know, it'll never be taken away from us. I know, again, the cliches that everyone says, you'll walk together forever and nobody can take it away from you, but they ain't no truer words.
I said it before, I'll say it again. You guys earned to be here. You earned it. We have something that other teams do not have. The fact that we're a family. We got kids from Florida, we got kids from Long Island, upstate New York, New Jersey, South Jersey, North Jersey. And we call ourselves what? A family. We're not a team, we're a family. In life, this might be it. This might be the last time you get this pure event where you can lay it out on the line. Go out and give it your all, guys.